Are you a broker who is planning to start a team or open a new real estate company? Or are you a broker who has created an entity, such as an LLC or corporation, for receiving your real estate commissions? You will likely need to obtain a real estate firm license from the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. In North Carolina, any entity that engages in brokerage must hold an active real estate license, even if it's just used for depositing commission checks. The term business entity includes any domestic or foreign corporation, limited liability company, association, partnership, or joint venture. Sole proprietorships do not require firm licenses. If you want to use an entity for your brokerage business, you must first create your entity and register it with the North Carolina Secretary of State. You can use an entity that was created in another state or jurisdiction, but first you must register it with the Secretary of State's office as a foreign entity. Once approved by the Secretary of State's office, your entity will be assigned an identification number or SOS ID. You will be required to provide your SOS ID to the Commission to obtain a firm license. There are 3 more decisions to make before submitting an application for a firm license. You must determine who will be appointed as the qualifying broker, how many brokers in charge will be required, and who those brokers in charge will be. First, you need to appoint a qualifying broker, or QB. The QB will be responsible for assuring that there is one broker in charge at each office location, renewing the firm license annually, retaining the firm's pocket card and certificate, securing and preserving the firm's transaction and trust account records, and notifying the Commission of changes within the company such as name, address, trade name, or QB appointment, as well as any suspension or revocation of authority to do business. To qualify to be QB, an individual must hold an active North Carolina broker license. The QB cannot be a provisional broker. Also, the broker must be a principal in the entity. For example, in an LLC, the broker must be a manager. In a partnership, the broker must be a general partner. In a corporation, the broker must be an officer. Next, you must determine how many brokers in charge will be required and who will serve the role. One broker in charge, or BIC, must be designated at each office location of the firm. An office means a location where brokerage acts are performed or where trust monies or records are handled or kept. Each BIC will be responsible for assuring that all affiliated brokers maintain current and active licenses and adhere to all agency agreement and disclosure requirements, notifying the Commission of changes within the company such as name, address, trade name, advertising, maintaining trust accounts and transaction records, and supervising provisional brokers affiliated with the office. To qualify to be BIC, a broker must have an active North Carolina license and must have been practicing brokerage on a full-time basis for at least 2 of the previous 5 years. The BIC cannot be a provisional broker. What about one-person entities? If you have a one-person entity, you may serve as both the QB and the BIC as long as you meet the requirements for both roles. In limited circumstances, a one-person entity may not need a designated BIC if it has been created solely for compensation purposes. If you have questions regarding whether your entity may qualify for this exception, please refer to the firm license application or call the Commission office and ask to speak with a firm licensing specialist. Once you decide who will serve as QB and BIC, you're ready to complete and submit the firm license application. A link to the firm license application is provided on the Commission's website in the Licensing and Forms menus. You will need to set up an account on the website if it's your first time submitting a firm license application. Please note that you cannot begin the firm license application until your entity is registered with the Secretary of State. Once you submit your application, the processing time will be approximately 7 to 10 business days. For more information about the firm licensing process, visit the North Carolina Real Estate Commission's website at ncrec.gov. Answers to many frequently asked questions are provided under the licensing menu, or call the Commission at 919-875-8255. 3700.